One of the service levels that still surprises me as being used for home delivery is curbside. This really puzzles me. So somebody has bought something and they're really excited, they want to get it to their home, and then the carrier that's being used is going to drop it off on a pallet at the bottom of the road. I live in the Pacific Northwest. There is no way I want to have my delivery sitting in the rain. And not only that, sometimes the types of trucks that are being used can't even get into a residential area. So, what's the solution? It's tapping into some other types of carriers, home delivery carriers who can do the full delivery. They pick up at origin, they deliver to the customer's home, but rather than doing a curbside delivery, they do something that we've coined gray glove. And basically, this means bringing the product right up to the customer's home, whether it's leaving it in the garage or the carport, the first dry area, or in many cases, they can actually bring it across the doorstep into the entranceway. With a lot of products, you don't need full white glove unpacking and assembly. You just need to get it up to the house and not in the rain. And that's why Grey Glove is a really good home delivery option.
Well, if you live in a suburban area and you've got a nice cul-de-sac roundabout, everything, you're good to go. It'll be at the end of your driveway. But a lot of people live in the country or just outside of town, and they might have a gated community. They might have trees overhanging the road, or they just might have a really long driveway. And so curbside becomes a pretty big problem if you're going to drop off a pallet that weighs a couple 100 pounds with the item on it at the end of somebody's 1 mile long driveway. And so LTL carriers have always despised residential deliveries for that exact reason. Another reason is that it's not nearly as efficient as B2B. They can't just bump docks. One LTL residential delivery might be on one side of town and the other one 5 miles the opposite direction, maybe 15 miles out. You might only get 4 deliveries done in your morning shift, where if you go in the city and you're just bumping docks, you can empty your truck. So the solution in the market right now is to, enhance the consumer experience. That's what it's all about. And it typically goes something like this. They go, hey, we'll just palletize it and have an LTL carrier ship it to a white glove agent. The white glove agent will schedule the delivery appointment and do a white glove full assembly delivery in the consumer's home. And that looks a lot like this. You have one LTL carrier, one white glove carrier, two tracking numbers, two invoices, a black hole for tracking once it gets to the white glove agent because it looks like it's delivered for the LTL carrier tracking. The consumer doesn't have the contact info for anybody except for the company they ordered it from. They call that company and say, "Where's my order?" The company goes to the LTL carrier. The LTL carrier says, "We gave it to the white glove agent." The white glove agent doesn't have a good phone number or they don't answer. And round in circles we go. If you add in a broker in there, then you call one broker who calls a carrier who calls an agent. It gets pretty messy. And one of the aspects that I don't normally talk about, but I think is a big deal, is that not only are you upgrading this white glove service and adding carriers and complexity, you're also having your consumer a lot of times pay for white glove and then get a subpar experience anyways. So they're not only mad that they didn't get their delivery on time, but they paid $300 and they want their money back and they leave a bad review.
One of the unique things that we do at Rocket in any customer that we actively work with and new ones that are coming in to onboard with us is that we look at their overall picture of what they're shipping, who their clientele is that they're shipping to, and how it's currently moving from point A to point B. So historically, when you get a new customer that is heavily involved in that retail space or e-commerce type of customer, majority of their shipments are moving to a residential delivery. And they're using common carriers like Forward Air, R&L, Estes. Not going to be happy with the outcome of what it looks like. It's more prone to damage moving through the LTL network. And so something that we do is we look at our customers in a number of different ways. We have one in particular that ships very heavy, bulky, oversized freight to residential customers, and 90% of what they ship is residential. So what we have done is looked at more of a gray glove type of service level where we're using some more unique carriers that are still picking up from the origin warehouse and they're taking it straight to the residential customer. But instead of setting it on the curb, they are taking it to the customer's house into their garage or to their threshold by the front door so that it's a better service overall. And the nice thing about that is that whether it's palletized or not palletized, that carrier, that specialty gray glove, so we call it carrier, is going to handle it just a little bit differently. You're still getting the same transit days, So by using the gray glove carrier, you're eliminating a lot of these additional accessorials that are often racked up by your common LTL carriers, such as the residential fee. You have a lift gate, you have a limited access. Sometimes they even tack on a delivery appointment. So by utilizing this gray glove carrier, you're getting more of a reduced cost by eliminating the LTL carrier service level and moving towards that gray glove service level. You're going to have a better consumer experience overall, because the customer is going to get it straight to their doorstep. They're going to see less damage, and they're going to still get it there in a timely fashion for a lower cost.